UW Medflight has created this video to provide standardized safety training for the emergency personnel who work with us in the field. The following format provides the basic information and techniques required for requesting, utilizing, and assisting Medflight in patient transport. In addition to viewing this video, we encourage you to contact us for additional training on site. Established in 1985, the UW Health Medflight program operates as a partnership between Air Methods Corporation and UW Health. Air Methods Corporation is responsible for maintaining FAA approval to conduct commercial air services and provides the pilots, mechanics, and helicopters to perform air medical flights. UW Health maintains a multi-million-dollar facility on top of UW Hospital with 2 hangars, 2 landing pads, crew offices, and the Medflight Communication Center. Doctors and nurses from UW staff the helicopters and provide for the highest level of medical care. The standard transport crew consists of a pilot, a flight physician, and a flight nurse. Medflight currently has 2 helicopters. One is staffed 24 hours a day, and a second helicopter and crew are available from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. The 2 primary helicopters used are Eurocopter EC-135s. The EC-135s are capable of lifting off at just over 6,400 pounds and cruising at a speed of 145 miles per hour. When aircraft are down for scheduled maintenance, a BK-117 helicopter will be used in operation as a backup. Anyone who is a certified emergency responder, police, fire, EMS, first responder, can request Medflight to respond to an emergency. Your request for Medflight should be made through your local 911 communication center. Please be ready with the following information. 1. Location, street address or nearest crossroads. GPS coordinates only if they are immediately available. 2. Type of emergency. 3. Unit that will be acting as landing zone command or your identifier. Medflight can transport only 1 patient per aircraft. If you need more patients transferred by air, contact Medflight Dispatch through 911 and they will assist you in sending aircraft from other programs or our backup aircraft. Landing zone or LZ. Think slow, SLOW. S stands for size of the landing zone and should be 100 feet by 100 feet. Anything smaller requires you to inform the pilot first. All landings will be at the discretion of the pilot in command. A firm surface that is as flat as possible should be used. Slopes need to be less than 6 degrees. If you are having trouble finding a suitable location, contact the pilot directly, as he may be able to see a suitable location nearby. Other options could be meeting at a location on the way to the hospital, such as a large parking lot or rest stop area. L. Landing area. Mark each corner of the landing zone. During the daytime, orange cones work best. At night, strobes are preferred. Vehicle lighting may be used to identify a landing zone at night. Vehicles can be aligned at the corners of a landing zone and low beam lights turned on. The beams should form an X to identify the landing area. Firefighters or EMS may mark the site by standing at each corner of the landing zone. Face shields or safety glasses, as well as hearing protection, should be worn. If you choose to use flares, please designate a person to act as a fire guard and monitor the flares closely. Flares should be extinguished after the helicopter is landed. Flares should not be used when hazardous material is present, or dry conditions would favor combustion of material at the landing site. Never use material such as police barrier tape to mark an LZ. It will become a potential hazard to the helicopter during landing. O. Obstacles. Make sure the zone is clear of hazards. Poles, fences, wires, towers, trees, people, and vehicles. Don't forget to check overhead. Anything in or near the zone which cannot be removed should be described to the pilot so he is aware of the hazard and can take appropriate action. Obstacles are much harder to see at night from the air. Overhead wires are very difficult to see, especially at night. Those securing the landing zone should thoroughly review the landing site and identify all obstacles. Communicate obstacles to the pilot by referring to the obstacle, its approximate height, and cardinal direction with respect to the landing zone. For example, the landing zone coordinator can tell Medflight there is a 20-foot pole north of the landing zone and 30-foot telephone wires to the south. Remember, while landing and taking off, the helicopter can generate winds over 120 miles per hour. Any loose objects could become flying hazards. W. Winds. Basic direction and intensity is helpful to the pilot. Prior to arrival, the pilot will always attempt to contact ground personnel. When a pilot requests LZ info, he is asking you to give a brief description of the size of the landing area, obstacles, wind. Not GPS coordinates. We already have those. Mark 2 is the preferred frequency for communication with Medflight. Landing zone security. At least one person must be designated to keep all persons and vehicles out of the landing zone from the time the helicopter arrives until after it departs. No one is allowed within 100 feet, on foot or in a vehicle unless the crew or pilots say otherwise. No smoking within 100 feet of an aircraft is allowed. Any non-emergency personnel should be kept at least 200 feet away. Pilot or medical crew will direct loading. Do not approach the helicopter without their permission. The patient is always loaded head first. Fewer is better when it comes to helpers. Never go near the tail. Hot load, unload refers to keeping the helicopter running. Use extreme caution at all times. While UW Medflight does not hot load or unload patients, many programs do. Therefore, the following points should be remembered. Never go in back of the horizontal stabilizer. A person shall be designated as tail guard, and their sole responsibility will be to make sure that no one goes near the tail rotor. Approach and depart the aircraft only after you have visual or verbal permission from the pilot. Approach or depart the aircraft from the direction of the aircraft's nose. Keep your head low and hold nothing above your head. IV poles must be stowed in the down position. Remove any loose objects or linens. Only trained medical flight personnel or specially trained individuals will assist in opening or closing of clamshell or sliding doors. Once the patient is loaded, clear all personnel and vehicles away from the aircraft, at least 100 feet, and do so as soon as possible so the pilot may safely start the aircraft and depart. Once the crew is in the aircraft, or the blades are turning, no one and no vehicles are allowed in the landing zone until after the aircraft has departed. Understand that in the event of an emergency on departure, the pilot may elect to return to the landing zone for an emergency landing. You provide an essential service to your community, and we feel honored to work with you. Thank you for taking the extra time to help us do our job in the safest manner possible. If you would like to tour our facility or schedule additional training, please contact our program manager. You can reach him through the Medflight Communication Center at 608-263-6629.